Hi, I'm Donna Jordan from Jordan Fabrics. Today I'm going to show you how to make a quilt called Scrappy Squares. This is a free pattern from Moda, and they include it in some of their fat quarter bundles. These are Bella Solids from Moda Fabrics. Each of these fat quarter bundles comes with a pattern. We've made some of these patterns before. Here's the stars and 4 patches we made in the greens. We made the stacks pattern in the blue. We made classic stars in the taupe color. And we made the peaks quilt. The pattern we're doing today is available free on our website, jordanfabrics.com. Once you get there, we have a whole section that says free patterns. And this one is right here called Scrappy Squares. So click on it, click on the button there, and there's the whole pattern. Now today, instead of using one of these solid bundles, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to make the pattern with a printed fat quarter bundle. We're going to use this Moda collection called Land That I Love. All we need are the fat quarters and a background. Since most of these prints are light, we're going to pick a dark background. I think that blue will look the best for the background. There's quite a few blues that will work. This is nice and cheerful. We'll go with that one. This is all we need, so let's get started. So the first thing is, we're going to open up the bundle, take a look at all the fabrics against this background and pick which ones we're going to use, because I have a lot more fat quarters here than I actually need to make the quilt. All of these prints are beautiful, but they're not all going to show against this background. All of these ones will. These will be great. So the pattern calls for 12 fat quarters. You can use a few more if you want more variety. This one doesn't show up as well. I probably will not use that, and I may not use that one there. But all of these, except the blues, will give us really nice contrast with the background. Once you have your fat quarters picked out, you want to open them up and iron them nice and flat. Now the nice thing is about this pattern is every fat quarter is going to get cut exactly the same way. So I'm going to iron them flat and stack them up. There's all the pressed fat quarters. Now I can't cut 12 layers at a time. I'm only going to cut 6 at a time. So I'm going to move half of these off and work with these 6, and I'm going to straighten it up, and I'm going to cut 2.5-inch strips from here. So you will be able to get 6 of these strips from each fat quarter. So we got that one cut. Now we're going to do the same thing over here. The next step is to take all of these 2.5-inch strips and subcut them into 10 inches. So we're going to get a 10 here and a 10 here. I'm just going to cut these lighter ones here first. And after that's done, I'll turn the board around and get those guys. Everything is now cut into 10-inch segments, and most of these are going to stay in 10-inch segments. So we need to take 8 of these guys. There's 6, 7, 8, and 8 of these guys, and set them aside because we're ready to sew with these. The ones that are left need to be cut into 2.5-inch squares. So these are going to get cut into 2.5-inch squares. Now all we need is some 4.5-inch squares out of the background. Everything is all cut, the whole quilt now, so let's go to the sewing machine. We're going to start with all of our 10-inch strips here. So get 4 of them. It doesn't really matter which 4 you get, but try to get some different colors and mix them up a little bit so we can do those 4. Now I might not want the barn right next to itself there, so we could put this guy in the middle. So we're going to sew these side by side using a 1/4 inch seam. They're already exactly the right length, so they're pretty easy to stitch together. And I'm going to press all seam allowances to one side. Now this guy's going to go on here. And again, they're exactly the right length, so make sure that you match up the top and the bottom and stitch a careful 1/4 inch. Give it a quick finger press so it's nice and flat. Now let's take this right over to the ironing board. So what we have now is a 10-inch square. I'm going to iron it so it's nice and square and nice and flat. And I like to smooth it with my hands first. I've already finger pressed it so it's pretty flat. Then I'm going to use a dry iron and then a little steam. Now we're going to take it right back to the cutting table, to the cutting mat. And we're going to cut this into 2.5 inch strips. We will get 4 of them exactly, so there won't be any excess. So line it up on your cutting mat very carefully on a line, and then use your plastic ruler and make a careful cut. Now we have a lot of patchwork here already pieced up. So now go ahead, grab 4 different strips, and just keep using that same procedure that we just did, and make all of your squares and get all of your squares cut up into those patchwork strips. I wanted to share with you a tip for cutting faster. I always want to go fast on my quilts. So I've got 6 or 7 of the blocks all stacked up here, and they're staggered so that none of the seam allowances are right in the same spot. So I can cut all of these layers all at once, and this will save you a lot of time if you feel comfortable cutting multiple layers. So see, I've got all these ones all cut at the same time. Now they're all sliced up, and we're ready to take them 2 by 2 and sew them in pairs. So get 2 that don't have colors that match up, so you may need to trade around. You just want to get a variety. And I've got 1 set here where the seam allowances are going down, and then this set the seam allowances are going up. And of course you can adjust that simply by turning this, but this way these seam allowances will nest, so they're going in opposite directions here. That makes it real easy to stitch this up. So we're going to stitch these 2 together using a 1/4 inch seam. We want to finger press the seam allowance to one side, so I'm pressing this way. And we're going to do this procedure with our whole stack of patchwork here. So instead of making them individually, I'm going to chain piece them all and leave them on the machine. So to chain piece, I'm just going to leave that one right there, and then I'm going to grab 2 more. And when I'm all done, then I will trim all of them. Those are all stitched together, so I'm going to pull them all back here and then finger press the whole row. We're going to take 10 of these double strip units and set them aside, because these are going to go around the outside edge of the quilt. These other ones we're going to take back to the sewing machine. All we have to do now is take 2 of these strip units and pair them up. Now you might have to move them around so that you don't get your colors lined up. I don't mind if I have 2 creams, but I don't actually want the same fabrics next to themselves. So we'll put this here, you can turn it around, whatever works the best, and stitch them together. Now we're going to finger press that seam to the right here. So keep stitching them till all of these are sewn into these big blocks. Once those are done and steam pressed nice and flat, we're going to move on to these guys. Each one of these blocks is going to get 2 squares put onto the corners, and we need to stitch along the diagonal. So the easiest way to do that is to mark the back of these squares. I like to use a pencil, and I'm just going to draw from corner to corner. Put your little square on top of the blue one with everything lining up, and then we're going to stitch on the line, but we're actually going to move a hair over this way. It makes it a little bit easier to fold this after we stitch. So just a hair towards the corner. Now turn it around, put the other square on the opposite corner, and stitch it exactly the same way. These are going to get folded like this. So you want to be careful when you fold them over that you keep your background square and not distorted. You don't want to finger press these because it will stretch there. So just put it in place, hold it there while you grab your iron, then carefully fold over this one, iron it, then use some steam. Now we need to trim off the back 2 layers. I find this easiest on a small square to just take my scissors and trim it, leaving a 1/4 inch seam allowance. I have found a method to stitch these corner triangles on without drawing on the back of them. I put some painter's tape, straight line from the needle hole straight down here. And I find if you take your square and put this tip right up at the needle and keep the far end on this line as you sew, you can get a straight line. So that will save you all the time from having to mark all of those squares. Once you have all of these done, it's time to stitch them up into pairs. So put these right sides together, and it's easiest if you put the blue up at the top and the corner piece that's stitched on down here at the bottom, and stitch them with a 1/4 inch seam. Now this is one of those times when I do what I call sew and hope. I'm going to sew this, and I am going to hope that they match in the middle there. Almost perfect. So I'm not going to try to make that match by looking. I'm just going to sew and hope, and it seems to work pretty well. We are going to press all of these seams to the right. So take the whole stack and finger press the seam that way. Now take 14 of these and put them aside. These are going to be used around the outside edge of the quilt. The rest of them are going to be made into these X blocks. All we have to do is take 2 of these and stitch them together. Now the seam allowances are already going in opposite directions, so it's going to be real easy. And if you want to pick out a pair where you're not matching up the same color here and here, that's okay, but don't worry about it too much. So again, make the top match, and match the intersection right here in the middle. We're making this match right here, and you can feel it. And don't worry too much about this. Now open it up, finger press the seam to one side. Do this with the rest of your X blocks, and then we will press them. Now that these are steam pressed nice and flat, we have almost everything we need to make the whole quilt. The last part is a couple of 4 patches. So we need to make 4 of these units for the 4 corners of the quilt. Now we can lay the quilt out. I like this part the best. We've got all these different units here. And so we are going to start with one of these guys in the corner. And one of these, and I'm going to do the whole first row here. Now we can just put these big blocks all in the middle of the quilt here, and they're just being alternated, and I am not going to worry about what fabric is next to what. I'm just going to lay them all out and make it look scrappy. Now that the quilt is laid out, we're starting to see the whole pattern starting to look pretty good. I'm going to make all the rows and then sew the rows together, and then we'll get it onto the quilting machine. The quilt is loaded up. We need to pick a thread color. Of course I could do red, but I think it will be too extreme. So here's the options. Light blue shows quite a bit on the blue, which is okay. Gray shows a little less and doesn't show much in the light areas. Or this creamy oatmeal color. Doesn't show much there, shows more there. I really think that this gray will show the least, and I think that's what we're going to use. I'm going to use Wish Upon a Star for the quilting pattern. It has nice stars in different sizes and some little loopy swirls. So we will end up with some of those stars on our dark blue background, and those will look really nice. Now that the quilt is done, what I really see are blue ribbons. This looks like a county fair quilt to me. In the United States, we have county fairs where late in the summer, people can bring their produce and their flowers and paintings, and kids can raise animals, and they all vie for blue ribbons. That's the top prize. So we have some cows, we have some pigs, and they all just look like they've been entered in the county fair, and they're trying to win the blue ribbons here. Now when we stand back a little, it looks like the patchwork blocks are coming out of the quilt a little, and the blue is a lattice that goes behind them all. We only had those two patchwork blocks, this one here, and then the X blocks. But just the way the blocks go together, it gives it a three-dimensional look. I want to show you the back of the quilt. I used a coordinating print that is a panel, and I had to use two lengths of it and piece it together. And this is why sometimes if you give a reversible quilt, which this came out like, to your long armor, you can't always get it centered both ways. My back is centered very nicely this way, but it's slid over a little bit, so I've got a little less pattern there than over here. And that's okay, that doesn't bother me, but I really like having the reversibleness here. Thanks for watching our tutorial today on how to make the Scrappy Squares County Fair quilt. We hope you enjoyed it. Now we're going to have another giveaway. We're going to be giving away 2 quilts. These are small lap size, all made from one fabric. So we've got a green gold one, and you have a second chance to win. We've got a blue brown one. So it's very easy to enter. Just click the link below that says giveaway, enter your name and email address, and this is open to everyone worldwide. Good luck. Now, if you don't want to miss any of the videos we do in the future, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Happy quilting.